And we're live on a glorious another day that God has given us. I sound so excited, don't I, though? I mean, really, though. What's up, everyone? I am the hostess with the mostest, the High Priestess Phoenix. I am your spiritual healer, teacher, shaman, seer, oracle, lightworker, starseed, earth angel, mystic, medium, psychic, witch, yogi, guru, evangelist, North American symbol. I am your messenger, God. We just did this one. I am, sorry, your messenger of God, the first child of God, the Lilith reincarnated. In order to keep up with me, Buddha, okay, Buddha, you would have seen what I posted on my community page, my latest live video, and anything in my shorts. I did a whole projection of what today was going to look like last night, so you got to go catch that video. Right before I got on here, oh gosh, I was doing quite well. I already knew I was going to be all dragon ass. Dragon ass, get it? Dragon. Sorry, having fun. I know I was going to be tired, so I'm going to take the morning to chill. Then I got to wrap up that last bit of shit, that last load of shit I got to do upstairs. It's not a last load, trust me. It's like I got to do like a carload of shit. Really? Yeah. But before I got on here, I saw that well, I was chilling in my car and I saw that Joe Bart had posted a fucking video about aliens. And I shared it and then I watched the video and oh my god, he shared this fucking thing and it died. And that was my second share. But afterwards I started listening to the video and it was all about consciousness. And that's what I said when I posted that. I found it intriguing. We always align. That's just how it works because all last night I was speaking about the Palladians and the connection between the Palladians and the light beings and ascending masters and angels and archangels and blah 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 blah. So I was telling that whole story and I had posted, how did that happen? I tell everyone the same thing. Everybody wants to be me, but they don't like the answer of what it took. It's the same answer all the way around. I started working on my mind, trying to figure out what the fuck was up with my mind and in my life. And as I broke through the barriers of that, I started entering different, they could say higher vibrations of love, something spiritual, and dumb would say something like that. You could say higher states of consciousness, according to science, becoming more of my higher self, something like that. But all it was just me working through my mind. And as I would get into these higher levels of consciousness, sorry, I'm messing with that, I would access new beings. Really? Yeah, and those are, all right there, that's my higher self. But the ascending masters and shit. Really? I learned it. That's why I said I don't like the incompetence that was being broadcasted last week. It's like, well, I don't know what you're talking about. Bro, first off, anybody that's talking to me should have a general sense of something I'm talking about. That just means that you're not paying attention to me because that's all I talk about is spiritual bullshit. I'm a priestess. Hello. Really? That's all I do is minister in all kinds of ways about everything. Really? At fucking 5 o'clock this morning, it might have been 6 because I was surprised. We were having a huge conversation about the energy and all that shit. Really? And then we were talking about eagles and the significance and all kinds of shit. That's all I do. That's all I do is talk fucking Kanye shit about spiritual shit. So it's like, how can you not know what I'm talking about? Now, the point of this is, I didn't go to college for this shit. I was introduced to it. One candle, one stone, one card, one book at a time. The reason why I was introduced to it is because I was looking for answers. I was experiencing higher levels of conscious thinking at rapid rates. And because there weren't people, I was provided, you know what I mean, spirit guides. Once you break out of the mind, the very first part, this is the tree of life. Give me a pointer. Let me point to some shit. Okay, here is Earth, the final frontier. This is the moon. Once you break out, this is where I stand right here. I'm the goddess of the moon. Once you break out of the moon, which is your mind and your emotions, then you can travel the universe. But it takes a lot of discipline because your mind is always there. You have to get past your mind to get into all these areas. Today, we're right here in the Mercury energy. Realistically, yeah, but we have these higher level energies that have been hanging on us for so long. And that's where I am. They call this the 11th dimension, which is the thrones. But I go into this area, I stay up here. That makes it kind of difficult. But what that means is Saturn is, dealing with certain realities. Pluto is the death of those realities, and Neptune is the spark of new realities. And then, I fuel that with my heart and I make that happen. So I'm constantly working through this. Today we're doing some communication, but we were working all last night with the sun energy. Really? Mm-hmm. Where do you get it all? Your fucking chakras? Everybody say it with me. I love that word. I want to hear country people. Chakras. Chakras. Yes. What are chakras? Invisible energetic points throughout the top of your head to the bottom of your spine that send fucking frequencies or information from other dimensions. Realistically, pretty much, not individually, but you have to align them to get this, what it's called, the white light. Once you're in the white light, you can travel and you don't actually have control over it. It's based on your frequency as to where you might land. Really? It's that wheel of fortune, bro. Based on your energy is where you're going to land, whatever reality, whatever. And I just land in these places. I didn't try to fucking connect with aliens, bro. It happened. I didn't try to connect, dude. I just get in these places. Metatron was such a trip. I was in the darkest levels of dark teaching with Hecate, and then somehow I'm over here. What the fuck? No, it was Mary Magdalene. hmm But at that time, what was I doing? See, that's where I can remember where I had these huge shifts into these different dimensions, where I really did a huge act of love, where I fought my brain to go with what my heart said, and that ended up changing my mental realm. Really? Yeah, shit like that. You fight these impossible battles on the outside that are so stupid, and they break you into these impossible places in your mind. Really? Something like that. So, that's how that works. And welcome to the Tree of Life. So all of that started, and I wanted to talk about that because he was trying to talk about for the simple fact that no, they don't have mouths or ears or wear clothes or any of that. They work through different sensations. And so when I got myself to a higher level, that's how it worked with all of them. At first, it was just spirits, high level spirits, though. But not always, dude. I could walk through supermarkets and see all kinds of families of these people. Ancestors is what I called them. I don't know, spirit guides. They kind of look like you, but from way different times. There's like these fucking people hanging over you. Really, it was pretty bad in the beginning. That's all I saw. I saw ghosts. I saw dead people everywhere all the time. Really? But I had mine that were with me all the time, so it wasn't so weird. It was like I had my own dead people guiding me through the dead. Really? Mm-hmm. It's just like that story. For real? Yeah, and then after a while, you know what I mean, they started to kind of fizzle away. It was like I didn't see them all the time, but I could just be standing next to someone and I don't see them, but I hear everything. I hear messages. Hey, I'm supposed to tell you something. The Holy Spirit has a message for you. Really, it's just an energy that builds up in me. It's like, say something. I'm not always sure what's going to come out. I just have to be strong enough to open my fucking throat chakra, which is the gateway. Really? Yes, life and death. All right, moving on, shall we? So the conversation goes in deeper, and they're talking about consciousness. And hello, hello to my spirit guide, Mr. Carl Jung, who spent his whole life talking about this. We're back in consciousness. Really? Yes. And I was guided. I'm sure this isn't gonna. I should have seen the card, but I don't be paying attention because I was doing a lot of talking. We're gonna do a Metatron card with that, and here we go. Go fuck off. Go fuck off. Really? Yeah. And that was me last night taking pictures. I show the kids too. They're just the brightest stars in the sky. They'll be like the moon and like 2 or 3 big bright stars. But if you focus on those bright ones, you just start to see the other ones come into focus. Really? They're not stars. They're planets. That's what I was like sitting in my car, just smoking, just chilling. And I looked up and I saw the 2 planets aligned. Which ones are they? I can't remember all the time. I get them confused. Really? I'm pretty sure it was fucking Jupiter and Mercury. Really? I think so. Because I see Venus throughout the night. Actually, maybe it was. I don't know. because they change. Certain ones move across the sky, and then there's other ones. Do you do that a lot? No, not all the time, but most of the time, yeah. I don't like to stare at the people and the places in front of me. That never changes. That's boring. These people and stuff. I don't want to be staring outside of me to see what's going on. Really? All right, let's talk about some Carl Jung as we're rhyming here. He wants to help us understand the psyche. I just dropped my earring somewhere. I see. Oh, there's a penny. Heads up. What year? What year? 1993. Who's that? That's the first penny to add to the freaking offering. 1993. We're serving up 1993, people. If that's you, you just got drafted. Spread the word. This chair makes funny noises. I don't like it. All right, where are we? We're on 190 and 191. What are we talking about? I don't know. It's been a couple days. Actually, probably like a week since we talked about the conscious. You can't just stay in all these realms, dude. There's too much. All right, let's go back to he considers the conscious projection the anima. Anima. What do you think it is? ANIMA. Google? Who cares what Google says? All right. In this table, the anima symbolizes an unreal dream of love, happiness, and maternal wealth. Okay, I think this was the middle of a dream we read. Okay, this is going on to this guy's weird dreams. I don't think we were on that page. No, because it's showing pictures of it, and I don't remember any of this. He's breaking down dreams, and that's what Neptune is all about. So it all aligns. Hold on a second. I need to find a new start. Because he's breaking into people's dreams right away. And I don't know if it's one dream going on and on. Hey, this one sounds fun. All right, listen to this one. Why? Because I saw Mother Mary or some shit. Mona Lisa. There we go. And Virgin Mary. Hey, we're going with this story. What page? 195. And don't forget, Mr. 193s are being pulled. All right, in this dream, the anima appears in her proper perspective role. That is, as a meditator or a mediator between the ego and the self. That's me, the spirit, right? In its proper role. All right, the 4x4 configuration of the picture points to the fact that the celebration of the inner mass is performed in the service of totality. As Jung has demonstrated, the nucleus of the psyche, the self, normally expresses itself in some kind of fourfold structure. The number 4 is also connected with the anima or anima because, as Jung noted, there are 4 stages in this development. The first stage best symbolized by the figure of Eve. Oh, bro. Really? Yeah. All science and wonders. Wonder why we call you bitch. Okay. Do you have anything else to contribute at this moment? I'm gonna put your shirt on today. No, that's a waste of today. I'm just gonna be at the fucking wash house all day. That's a game. That's no fucking cool shit, bro. I'm gonna wear it though. We'll wear it tomorrow on Thirsty Thursday. Deal? Deal. All right, now let me read this shit. Now, going back to Carl Jung and all mysticism and all that, they understood that the transformation is within the feelings, which is considered the feminine aspect of all beings. So we are at a place where it's the divine feminine awakening. So as Carl Jung is about to go back to the Eve and the transformation of the Eve to the me, and that's where it is. They were faithful, loyal, understand. That's what I mean is Alistair's reincarnation and Carl Jung's, I can access the conscious of it, but he's already put into a body, is their submission to the already knowing of me. Realistically, yeah. Wolfman can't fully put it into words because he hasn't accessed his past life. I'm seeing Lewis. Lewis might have it. Lewis might remember his service to me. Realistically, I try to remind fucking Logic and fucking Royce all the time of our last battle. We died. I know that. We died in those woods. We died for what we did because there was never a memory past that memory. Really? It was the last life we had together. What life was that? I don't know. Logic has the story. He's got the goods inside. Trying to activate it because I really want to know what the fuck did you do, dude? Realistically, I just remember us sitting together. We're like fucking besties, and we're watching over mankind, and we're like some kind of like spiritual espionage playing the games. And that's Morgan, bro. That's all I did. I played the games in the fucking darks. Really? Hey, the Battle Crow, bro. That's us. So it was obviously their loyalty to me. It does not mean they were in male figures. I just see them in these forms so that I can recognize. I can't see the form that any of us were in, but just us, because it has to be recognizable to the conscious of what we are now. Really? Gets fucking weird. We could have looked like totally different fucking who knows what out there. But I can see us, as the time we are now, so that I can recognize us in that time. Fucks with the idea of future, because you're really looking at the past. But anyways, I know it would have been that time because we were looking over the battles and we were not supposed to get in this battle. No, but we were terribly sad about it because these were our people and we had spent a long time protecting our people, but we were supposed to submit to this. And we sat there in front of the fire and we had this really, you know, terrible, humbling thing that we just couldn't watch them burn, but we had to. We sat there with this terrible thought and we, split ways. And the next thing you know, here comes Logic running out of the fucking woods. He's just, we have to start running. And we look back and it's fucking fireworks and fire and fire and fire and fire. And we're just looking at him. And then it ends. I think we end right there. But it was like, it was the right thing to do, but it was so wrong. And I think we got fucked up for that. Really? I think that's where the Morgan really ends. Really? I mean, seriously, I just see it as, oh, you done fucked up. It could have been that fucked up because we weren't supposed to do it. We weren't supposed to get in the fight, and that's what I tell them. And Royce is off to a hell of a fucking terrible start. He's already picking sides. He picks every side. No. Whatever. I think actually it just ends up being, you know what I mean? You're going to walk your fucking people into fucking damnation, bro. Why? You're going to play the other side of the battlefield, I suppose, to learn karma. Realistically, I suppose I told them. All I know is we don't get involved, bro. We don't get involved, bro. We don't get involved in the fight. I know there was a feeling of relief that Logic did something because all of us wanted to, but there was definitely persecution for what we did. For whatever he did, we all fell for. And I think it's because all of us truly hoped or intended, or maybe we secretly plotted in that wood. I'm not sure. But why was I so surprised? Good question. That life. Anyways, going back to it. There's stages to this shit, and that's yourself. So going back to Carl Jung, he will remember his his connection with my spirit in other times. I can look back now and see my connection with Pac before. I wasn't, dude, I'm still listening to his songs like, oh, you made this song? They're like fucking 20 years later. He made a whole bunch of albums that I never listened to. Really? Kobe played a billion games I never watched. I know nothing about my spirit guides other than they were on TV when I was young. That doesn't mean anything. Do you guys know anything? I know Muhammad Ali so motherfucking well. I know fucking Martin Luther King so motherfucking well. How the fuck is that possible? Jesus, I sit in the spirit, bro. They teach me. They show me. And in the essence, you know why? Because it's a regeneration. Because when Kobe was sitting there in his fucking jail cell and in his feelings, it was a divine feminine spirit that came to him. He didn't have a Kobe to come to him. He had the fucking dark goddess come to him in the dark night of the soul. I was there with all of them when they were going through it. My higher self, which is up there. And that's what it is they pay it back. It's paid forward. They know who I am because I was the voice with them. And that's where they are, is the voice with me. And we're that voice. Really? Everybody sing together now. Ah! Hallelujah and all that shit. Shut up. That's coming. They're about to come singing from the choirs. Where's that? I believe the choirs is in Jupiter. I'm not sure though. It could be the virtues. I don't know where they all live. I just be living up in the tree, a whole monkey in the tree. All right, let's go back to this. Sorry, went way into deep time and space and past life shit. But that's where start with Eve, and we got to start at the beginning of time. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. I didn't even start talking about her. I was talking about myself. So he knows this. How? Because he understood the progression of the integration and the separation of the divine feminine, not only in women, but in children and in men. They deny their feelings. He mastered the mind through understanding emotions. I mastered the mind through the same thing. All I had was emotions and no memory. And that's how I was able to navigate it. So in doing so, it made me like a blind person where I can feel every fucking thing. Super duper senses. They call it the sixth sense. Shut up, bro. You see dead people? Shut up, bro. I don't want to talk about any of this. Really, it just all happened. Anyways, let's move on. The 4 times, yeah, let's get back to Eve. You can never say that word without starting a huge this fucking bitch. What was that? That's God's watered down version of me. Do you know how many times he watered this bitch down before he gave him a lot of unpleasing versions to where he didn't. Yeah, my hand's itching. Ooh, bless me. Oh, my computer's arriving. That's nice. Okay. I didn't know what I was about to receive. I'm like, what am I about to get? My brand new computer. Your new life. Okay, moving on. Come on, stay focused. Carl Jung has demonstrated the nucleus of the psyche, the self, normally expressed itself in some kind of fourfold structure. Here we go. The first stage is best symbolized by the figure of Eve, who represents the purely intellectual and biological reactions. The second can be seen in the Faust Helen, the personified or romantic aesthetic level that is, however, still characterized by sexual element. The third is represented, for instance, by the Virgin Mary, a figure who raises love, eros, to the heights of spiritual devotion. The fourth type is symbolized by what is this? Sapientia, wisdom transcending even the most holy of the most pure. Of this, another symbol of the Shulamite is the Song of Solomon. Solomon, excuse me. I almost said Salmon. I didn't know if that was going to come out of my mouth. Dude, I see the words and words come out. I keep moving. In the psychic development of modern man in the stage is rarely reached. The Mona Lisa comes nearest to such a wisdom enema. At this stage, I am only pointing out that the concept of the fourfoldness frequently occurs in certain types of symbolic material. The essential aspect of this will be discussed later. But what does this role of the anima as a guide to the inner world mean in practical terms? The positive function occurs when a man takes seriously the feelings, moods, expectations, and fantasies sent by his anima or anemia. I don't know how to pronounce this. I feel like every time I say it, I'm saying it wrong, or they're trying to correct me, but nobody's giving me the right answer. I could be wrong. And when he fixes that, excuse me, let me start over. The positive function occurs when a man takes seriously the feelings, moods, and expectations and fantasies sent by his anima, and when he fixes them into some form. For example, in writing, painting, sculpture, music compilation, and dancing. When he works at this patiently or slowly, other more deeply unconscious material wells up from the depths. Holy shit, I'm getting a huge download. I remember a memory. Wells up from the depths of and connects with the earlier material. Sorry, I couldn't keep reading. That's what happened to me. So I'm all masculine. I turned myself into a whole masculine, the most beautiful masculine you ever saw. Really? I mean, very edgy and very masculine, but a whole feminine, right? So listen to this. So what I started doing was I started writing music, right? I'm hearing a frequency in my ear. I started writing music. And when I started doing it patiently and slowly, other more deeply unconscious material welled up from the depths and connected with the earlier material. After a fantasy has been fixed in some specific form, it must be examined both intellectually and ethically. It was in my music. My music told me everything about my life. It told on me, just like Russ, just like Marshall. He was creating all of this madness. You know what I mean? And that's where it is they build all of this up. I'm getting sick. I'm getting all kinds of fucking symptoms right now. Really? With an evaluating feeling reaction, and it is essential to regard it as being absolutely real. There must be no lurking doubt that this is only a fantasy. This is practiced with devotion over long periods. The process of individualization gradually becomes the single reality and can unfold in its true form. That's what they said. Our 10-day forecast was talking about 10 days to self-realization. Many examples of from this literature will show the anima as a guide or a mediator to the inner world. Francesco Colonna, okay, that's a long ass word. Hyperotomachia, writer, whatever. The internal feminine in Goethe's Faust. In a medieval mystical text, the anima figure explains her own nature as follows: I am the flower in the field, of the lily of the valleys. I am the mother of fair love, and the fear of knowledge and the holy hope. I am the mediator of the element, making one to agree with another. And which I am warm, I can make cold, and reverse. I and that which I dry, I make moist. I and the reversed. Sorry, there's a picture that's lurking at me. Stop looking at me. I'll show you the picture in a minute. It's looking at me. Um, and that which is hard I soften, and I am the law and the priest and the word and the prophet and the counsel and the wise, and I will kill and I will make to live, and there is none that I can deliver out of my hand. In the Middle Ages, they took a place of perceptible spiritual differentiation in religious, poetic, and other cultural matters, and the fantasy world of the unconscious was recognized more clearly than before. During this period, the night cult of the lady signified an attempt to differentiate the feminine side of a man's nature in regard to the outer woman as well as in relation to the inner world. Well, you can see this so much more clearly with the women, though. Look at how the women are forced into the masculine role. That's the real problem right here. I mean, it's equally done so. That's where the fucking which came first, the cursed or the cursed child. The women are forced to be masculine, so that takes away from their nurturing, which makes these men and makes the children over masculine and over dependent because they don't have the nurture. They don't have that. Realistically, that's the imbalance is the feelings. They're denied their feelings out of progress. It doesn't matter how you feel. You have to keep going. That's masculine energy versus, you know what I mean, a lack of feminine energy, which is your feelings, denying feelings. Really? What are you fighting for with your relationship with your mother, with your boyfriend, with your girlfriend, with your job? They don't acknowledge how they make you feel. And you're either denying that you're feeling this way about them or you're suppressing it. And you could either come out and ask them to change their actions because you don't like how it makes you feel, or you can take the action to get away from things that don't make you feel good. And this is exactly what I said earlier. And that goes back to the pros and cons. You know, this makes me feel good, but not all of this. Something simplistic like let's go back to drinking. Why don't you drink? I don't like the after effect. Really, I don't like it. I don't like the shame. I don't like the blame. It takes me to a sad place. It's not like I can't control it. I have liquor, but I don't want to drink it because it reminds me. It'll remind me of things I don't want to remember. Really? That's it. I don't have a reason other than the fact that I don't want to relive past drunk days. That, and it always fucking turns my stomach, and I'm gonna spin and throw up because that's always part of the drink. That always happens to me. Why? I think about it now probably because I fast so much that I never have anything in my stomach. I don't drink a lot of fucking water, and I smoke weed the whole time I'm drinking. Really? Oh yeah, that'll make your stomach turn. So I never actually made it through. I don't think alcohol has ever made it through my system. I always put food on it, some kind of, think of it as a sponge. I put something in it and then I spit it all up. Oh yeah, dude, I always throw up. That doesn't sound fun to me. It might look good and taste good and I like that. I might take a straw through, but I don't want to get to a place where I'm sitting there and now it's hit me and I remember what this feels like and I'm feeling terrible for feeling like this. And I'm remembering everybody that's ever been drunk around me and I'm just remembering the drunk energy. Really? Yeah, it's just a self-control thing. It's not like I'm scared of it or anything. I just don't really I don't want to throw up. I don't want to spin. I don't want to do any of that. Really? No, it used to be fun. I knew I was going to get fucked up. Really? It's like, how fast can you get fucked up? I can get fucked up real fast. How fast? I'm a 2-drink done. I am the cheapest date when it comes to liquor. That's why I didn't need nobody to pay for my drinks. I could afford it. Realistically, yeah, seriously. All right, so going back to that, the conscious, what were we talking about? These people are looking at me again. That's denying, denying your feelings. That's what we were talking about. This is all about your feelings. And that's what happens. You start feeling all kinds of ways, and they're not good ways. And that's where I teach you is how to cope with these uncomfortable feelings as they're coming to the surface. They're just repressed feelings. You've never felt this way or you never allowed yourself to feel this way. And it's a terrible awakening. It's a terrible awakening. It's like everything hurts. Reality hurts. Really? That's why they give it to you in small dosages. That's what I mean is like the light. The light is like, once they bring you out of it, it hurts. The truth. Seriously? So that's why I was like, dude, my body's aching. I'm feeling all kinds of fucked up because they're lighting me up with information and, truth and, visions and shit like that. And it's like, that shit fucking hurts your fucking body. But then there's all these other things. It's like you get bothered, you're triggered. That's a huge stage. That's Famanach. It's like everything anybody says or does seems to fucking bother you. You're just fucking irk and jerk, bro. Fucking E and J on that shit. It's like, dude, you're just like, you don't like everything bothers you now and you're everything that you've ever never expressed to somebody or something is coming to the surface. Did you watch Kanye West go through his? Oh man. He got stuck in the pipeline really though. That's what happens if you put fucking psych meds and drugs and alcohol and women onto that shit. You don't want to feel bad, bro. You don't want to deal with these feelings from some shit that happened in fucking high school, bro. No, I'm over it. I ain't mad. I ain't mad. And all of a sudden, bro, you are so furious. They're making you go back to this moment. They will put you in front of this person, bro. They like move this person down your hallway, bro, to make you face this feeling. I swear to God. Welcome to the mirror room. That was yesterday's card. I am so serious. He brings you back to this, dude. He's going to make you face this. Or he's going to bring you back to someone that does the same exact shit. If they can't find that person, they'll find another one to irk you. Really? All these fucking jerks. Let's have a drink to the douchebags, right, Kanye? That's what happens. You get to a certain age, and that's what they told me, dude. When I ended up with my first panic attack in the hospital, they're like, it get to an age where your mind and your body cannot take the pain anymore. I didn't even know I was in pain, bro. The fuck you talking about, bitch? I mean, I knew my life sucked, but I didn't really look at it. I just kept looking forward. Then you look back, you're like, oh man, this is just awful. And you hear the stories that come out of my mouth. I don't know what's not coming out of your mouth. Really? And that's where I create a comfort zone where you're like, well, I know she already been. I feel like I could tell her some shit. Tell me. That's not like I ain't been. Realistically, yeah, something like that. And that's what you have to deal with. And that's what's really holding you back is these repressed feelings and these repressed emotions. And it's the divine feminine because the feminine in you is always processing feelings and emotions. And that's your mother. She's always asking, what you think and how you feel. Really? She's trying to tend to, you. A good mother is always, you know what I mean, concerned about your well-being. You know what I mean? How you're getting along, how you feel in your clothes, how you look, you know, and your self of expression. You know what I mean? My job is my mom, as the mom. Dude, this girl this morning, oh, she had me on a rat race. I was like, I don't mind doing it. It's the way you fucking talk to me. It's like I would have bent over backwards, but you're like, ah, ah, ah. And I'm like, ah. Basically some shit like that, but that's what that is. And so for us not to have someone that made us think about or even ask us throughout the day, we never check in. We never check in, and I hate sitting down doing those moments, and that's what God makes us do on a Monday. Here comes a Wednesday, which is a mini tower. Get ready for Fridays. Why is Friday so bad? Because it's the heart. Your heart starts pumping and it brings up all these old pains and shit. Really? Oh, it's just fucking fabulous. But it's important to deal with because it's still, there's a part of you rotten inside. And then you see all your friends and family and people your age dying from cancer, and you know what it is. You really get to work on these feelings, bro. They're really darkness that are clouding what I said, your chakras. It's like, it's so sad, but it's like your energetic field is plugged with fucking like venom and shit, dude. You need to just clean it out. That's how I lost all my weight. That's how I started to feel youthful. That's how I cleaned up a lot of my health problems. That's how I got a new life is by taking out. I didn't go to a fat camp and I didn't do all this shit. I started working on all the shit that was heavy inside of me, that was killing me. These things were hidden inside of me and they're killing me, bro. And going back to, my moon cycles, as I started to talk about all of these secrets that are hidden in that particular area, and that's where we hide certain memories. If you just really do the psychological work to understand this energy, you're hiding certain parts. And especially it all comes out, to get it all out, it comes out your mouth. You can't just you better hope you don't get just a terrible case of motherfucking diarrhea. In essence, I've been constipated since I started this thing. Really? Yes. All of a sudden, my favorite thing of cheese became my enemy. Realistically, I'm so serious. So you can't even hope to shit this one out. It's got to come out of your mouth. Your feelings. You can't have sex. You can't fuck it away. And that's how you used to get rid of energy, right? Have a great meal, have a great meal or go have sex. That's how we feed our flesh, right? What we put in our mouth and, you know what I mean, and out our body is how we regulate it, whatever. Well, no, my chakras are blocked from the bottom up, so I had to come out. It has to come out. My feelings can't go that way. Realistically, because down there is where all the feelings are hidden. Really? It's tender. Sorry, I can make all these funny jokes. Realistically, it's not. You would look at this and be like, damn, are you fucking beat up? No. This is what's really fucking tragic and sad. Because you're not supposed to do that. Don't make me explain the science of my vagina. Please don't make me explain this. Oh, okay. Let's talk about the feminine vagina just to make everyone uncomfortable and make you think twice about sticking your dick in people's vaginas. As the Lilith, I should be here to stand in on this conversation. I should be your special speaker. Realistically, no. And we talked about fucking child sexual abuse last night, and I'm a fucking victim of this shit. What happens? The vagina is meant to fucking expand and go back to a certain size. It has to grow to a certain size. And once it's penetrated, it believes that's the certain size and it'll always go back to that size. Because mine was penetrated at a young size, it always goes back to that size. So that's why these fucking weirdos that I've ever had sex with have had the best sex of their life, because they're having sex with a very, 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 very small vagina on a very big girl with a very big mouth. Seriously? Yeah. I only figured that out later when I was trying to understand the pain. And God gave me this fucking, it's like, I don't know, it's probably only 5 inches, but I look at it like it's enormous. This like 7-inch vibrator, and I'm supposed to explore my sexuality. And as soon as I put this thing in, I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to die. Realistically, yeah. So then I started crying and I was like, all right, I understand why I black out during sex. It's literally just painful. Really? My biggest fear is an enormous dick, and that's why I make those jokes because of my dynamics. Doesn't matter. Now, what happened with these loosey goosey girls? Nothing, bro. They were just built big. And so it's just going to come back to that. You have these women that'll go and try to get this, they'll try to get it sewn up tighter, which is like a, just like fucking any kind of tummy tuck. They take the fat and they try to sew it up, but that's not it. It's just rubbed experience. Now you're rubbing against a scar, I would imagine, scarring tissue. Realistically, yeah, they can sew up the, when you have a child, the fucking, I mean, I'm getting all into this. The fucking shit will tear and they can sew that back up. But this has nothing to do with the actual vaginal walls. Some women are created larger and they need a big dick to feel that shit. That is not my case at all. Realistically, I can feel you like, I don't even want a big finger. And that's why I'm like shaking your hand and walking away. No? Well, this prostitute told me about your fingers and how that works. And that's never been proven wrong. Unless there was a man that had his hand cut off, then I'd be screwed. I mean, well, I wouldn't know. I wouldn't know what he was working with. But until then, I have a full understanding of what everyone's working with. And I can use that as a way of, nope, you're too big. Bye-bye now. Realistically, yeah, I'm not trying to, you know what I mean? Pull a muscle. That was the best one. Realistically, yeah. So going back to it, as I start digging up these terrible feelings, these terrible memories of sexual abuse or sexual manipulation or rape and all of this shit, as I start pulling this shit out and speaking these terrible stories, my periods become a lot lighter. That's another thing too, because it was made small, right? This is what I'm saying. Uterus, everything else is still the same size as a woman. I can hold a baby. But when it comes to that canal, bro, oh, fuck. So when I have a period, it's like they open the canal and now it's like even that's too much. Yep. Can't put a fucking tampon in me. Might as well just stick your dick in and I'll ride it all day. Something like that. Really? Child abuse. Long term. I was able to avoid this most of my life by using birth control. Birth control forces you not to have periods. It stops the egg flow. But all that did is keep me full of eggs. Them bastards. Them bastards. So, in essence, I could save myself all of this pain, which I did for all those years, by just taking birth control. But God wants me to have babies, and He had to get me ready for this flow again. I had to turn the water back on. And I'm like, dude, I'm going to die. Really? Yeah. And I can't be very manly when this happens. And every time a fucking moon cycle happens, I remember I'm a woman. Really? And I'd be doing manly jobs around that time and I'm fucked off. And that's what happened yesterday. I fucking carried this uterus as far as I could until it wouldn't carry anymore. And now I'm sitting here like, oh, fuck. Long-term effects. Really? Those are feelings, long-term feelings and shit like that. But as I worked through that, I started to get more of my sexual desire back. I started getting sexually aroused again. I started, you know what I mean? All of this stuff. As I started working through what was keeping me away from it, which was the truth and fears and this and that, I started to find joy in it again. Or, well, I'm excited about it. I still have plenty of fears, obviously, for very good reasons. And that's experience. And that's where they say this thing is the body keeps the count. You're hiding shit. You're hiding it. And that goes back to fat neck. Who's fat neck? Denon Porter. It was a fucking scary experience. I told you this last night in our videos. They can hear you thinking. All I said in my brain was, why is his neck so fat? And then I had the spirit of proof in my shower at Mr. Plum's telling me that he had secrets. Really? Fucking fat neck. And you can see it. People, they start to carry weight. They can see it. You can see it in their chakras. Really, the way they sit, the way they move, the way the energy. You know those people that are their legs are shifty? That's their fucking reality, dude. Those people that are always like, I'm doing it right now, where they're like doing that thing with their knee, where they're like twitching and shit. Yeah, shit like that. Really? They're holding in secrets. Everybody is, because you were told not to speak of such things. But those things are killing you. Literally, yeah, and they're just memories and feelings. And as you let them out, everyone will tell you that's ever done a serious psychotherapy session. You broke real hard. You were crying and it was the hardest thing and you were so embarrassed, but you broke. And when you leave after a day or two, you're going to go barely feel like you can eat a meal and you're going to go crawl into bed. But after a day or two, you're going to feel so fucking good about it. And that's what I do around here. I don't like that feeling, bro. I don't like to sit here and die in front of you. But the feeling afterwards, the recovery of it, that's a high. You got to go real low to get that real high. And that's why I do this. No, but you really are going to cry. It hurts. Everything hurts. And the expression of hurt is crying. And no grown man can cry. Grown women can't do it anymore. That's what B was suffering with. She's like, I can't do it. I'm like, if you don't let that out, and that's where it is us women. My mom, dude, she would never cry. I saw her cry only one couple times out of full bodily pain and over one man. I never saw her cry. I'd see her scream. I had to see her mad all the time. And that was me. You never saw the vulnerable side. You never saw that. You could only see it hidden behind anger and production. And that's divine masculine. That's masculine brute and force. So during this time, that's what it is your heart's awakening and you're stuck in the middle of your mind that says no because it's always been programmed to deny all these feelings, but they're coming up louder and louder and louder than before. You're looking up people from the past. Ugh, confirmation. You're literally facing your past, or your past is literally coming into your present. Why? Because you can't live with this shit. And that's where it's weird is they'll do everything to avoid it. It's like, your ex-girlfriend that you love so much just fucking moved down the street with her new boyfriend and you're trying to act fucking cool about the shit. Bro, you're dying, bro. You're dying, bro. You're trying to act. Who are you acting for, bro? This is your time. You better fucking tell her how you feeling so she can move that guy out before you watch them build a whole fucking family off of your self-sacrifice. I just dropped to the ground when I said that. Don't die inside because you can't let it out. All right, let's go on to this. This scary picture, bro. If you look at me one more time. Hold on, let me finish this and we're going to get out of here. The lady whose service the lady to whose service the knight pledged himself, to whom he performed his heroic deeds, was naturally a personification of the anima. The name of the carrier of the grail, oh my god, in Wolfram von Escabach verse of the legend is especially significant. Guide in love matters. She taught the hero to differentiate between his feelings and his behaviors towards women. Later, however, that's funny because I see me and Marshall. I was trying to explain that to him. Really, where it all comes from and shit. Because he had the same battles. That's what it is. We may not have lived the same lives, but we faced the same battles throughout our lives. Different times, different figures. Later, however, this individual and personal effort of developing the relationship with the anima was abandoned when her sublime aspect fused with the figure of the Virgin, who then became the object of boundless devotion and praise. When the anima, as Virgin, was conceived as being all positive, her negative aspects found expression in the belief in witches. And that's where it is too. You can't hide your darkness. You can't be all love and light. Ooh, I get them all the time. These bitches come out here. Grand rising, beautiful souls. I'm like, I'm going to touch your mommy wound right now. Oh, dude, that lady. Why did I do that? I never knew why I did that. I never knew a lot of things. But I was sitting there one morning. We had woke up. We're over at Chatfield Reservoir. I would go there before sunrise. I'd wake up and use the bathroom probably like 4 o'clock. I'd get my coffee, heat up the car while the kids were still asleep in the back, and I would drive over there. And we watched the sunrise over there, and I'd wait till, they were up and going. I'd feed them breakfast, and then we would take showers from over there. And one morning I'm over there and my daughter's using the bathroom and I'm standing here with the dog. We just got up. They don't know this. We haven't been up for 2 hours like you cruising through town. We're literally living in our car and just crawled out and into the forest and we're seeing you. And she walks up and she can't see that my dog is on a leash. She just sees my dog. And she's got this big dog and she's real jumpy, like a dog. And it's just too much energy first thing in the morning. I'm just sitting there on the ground with my dog, staring at the grass. My daughter's using the bathroom. And this lady comes pouncing up. She's like, is your dog, is your dog on a leash? And I'm like, it's cool. And she comes up, I don't remember, it's a video of it. And she comes up and I just give her the fucking worst. I give her the third degree of something. I was like, something about I hit her father wounds, and she turns back and she's screaming, I was adopted and you don't know shit, you fucking bitch. And I was like, I don't know what I did to that woman, but her very approach to me was me to push one of her fucking buttons, and she ended up in flames and fire, leaving my energy. She probably called the police or something. Realistically, I did the same thing to a woman on top of Mother Cabrini's shrine. They fucking called me my first time. Oh, god damn it. God asked me to go to the top of Mother Cabrini's shrine on a fucking Sunday. This is a Catholic fucking a Catholic monument and praise ground and a church. On a Sunday, they're having church. Catholic mass. I have to climb up fucking 50 to the top of this peak of this mountain where there's a fucking 30-foot fucking statue of Jesus and the whole everything that people come up here. It's like going to Brazil where that picture of Jesus is. We have one at Mother Cabrini's shrine. And so people come up here to take all these pictures. God brings me all the way up there, makes me set up just this type of shit and do a light reading on a Sunday, which is nothing more than my light codes. And then this fucking Karen comes out of fucking nowhere talking about I was fucking offending her and religious people and all this shit. And I end up fucking telling her to go fuck herself, realistically. I mean, in the most positive ways, of course, at the top of that mountain. And then I'm coming down, and as I'm coming down, here comes the Jeffco fucking sheriffs. I'm like, I know who they're looking for. So you fucking cunt. You fucking cunt. Realistically. I'm just saying, you cannot be all love and light. Don't come out here. Don't come out here, because I'm going to push the dark. I'm going to watch you turn into a fucking demon, trying to pretend like you're a nice person and you're just trying to look out for people. No, you fucking aren't. You weren't just looking out for people. And guys, I have no idea what happened in Minneapolis. It's all over fucking. I didn't watch the first one. You're not going to make me watch every time this happens. You're not going to make me watch that. That's what the Muslims did, you losers. They sit there and they broadcast these fucking torture videos of people dying to get them enraged. And you're doing the same shit. You keep watching these people get killed by our government. And that goes back to fucking, you know what I mean? Fucking Royce fueling this fire. I don't know what they did, but why aren't you going to understand that this is an elite? They were in Target this morning. They were right at Target. My job, that's 30 feet away from here. All of the staff were trying to race them in, and I was doing a banishment outside, listening to the Macarena song. I left that part out. But ICE was right there. All they can do is protect the people. But why won't you understand that this is a government fucking squad that is literally hunting people, and these are their operatives, and they don't care what American citizen is in their way. Now, are we gonna fucking mourn every American citizen that wants to get brave and get in their way, or people that are just innocently dying in their way? Or, can we just see what's happening right now? We're just going to keep, you know what I mean? How long does it happen? July. By July 21st, it's done. People fucking go into fucking mass hysteria and the fucking protests and everything. The fuel to the fire. Why are you fueling this fire? Have you picked your side? Do you know what you're fighting for? And do you know what you're fighting against? Because what we're going against is what? Our government. Are you ready to go against government? You think that it's just, you know what I mean, some thugs that wear an ICE t-shirt? This is a government organization that is located in each and every one of our states right now that are hunting people that don't have fucking right to be here. They're doing it in a very inhumane way. And they've been doing it since since you guys led him, since you guys put him into fucking, this was always his plan. So now we're rising up. Now, the unity of this is it went from blacks to actually, you know what I mean, all cultures. It's injustice. We're standing up united against injustice, but understand what we're standing against. And that's not like go get your guns. You're going to take your revolver or whatever, your Walmart gun, and you're going to go up against our federal government who's trained. They're not going to see you. And that's what happened with the Nazis. And that's what happens. They don't see you as theirs. That's what happened with British. They didn't see us as British people anymore. We're just the enemy. We're standing in the way. It doesn't matter who we are. And that's the same thing. If our government sent our troops to a foreign country and our people, American citizens, were in that country, they send us to Australia and they go, you know what I mean? They say they're going to go fuck everybody up. And there's a bunch of Americans in Australia that try to rise up against them. They're going to kill the Americans too. You can't wave your American flag and get away with this. Where are we leading up to? A revolutionary war against our government. And when the people are against it, then the fucking foreign governments are going to attack it. And then we're all in deep shit. Am I making this up? Well, I mean, I read it in the planetary book, and it's in the Bible, and it's in pretty much every scripture that ever has been written. It's already been happening in other countries. Why are other countries at war? Because they're at war with their government, and their government is at war with the people. What happened in Venezuela? Why are the Venezuelans here? Because they had a corrupt government official that would not fucking watch out for the people and was doing all this corrupt shit. The same guy that our president just went in and robbed out of their country. He finally had enough. They voted him out, which we're about to do with this guy, and he ain't going nowhere. They fucking voted him out, but he didn't leave. So the people tried to rise up against the government, and they were getting killed. So Biden came in and tried to save some of the people, get them out of the country because the country was crumbling. He tried to do the right thing, brought him here, and then our country couldn't really handle the weight. So Trump's idea is, all right, I'm going to take this motherfucker out, and we're going to put all you motherfuckers back, and I'll run the show until you figure it out. I don't know why you guys have to watch these meetings and understand what the big picture is. That's the big picture. So he's trying to get them all out because already he was trying to honor the American citizens by getting the Mexicans out. And then while he was gone, this guy unloaded like 300,000 million fucking Venezuelans. He's like, all right, well, we got to take care of the fucking, in his eyes, not mine, we got to take care of the rats before we get back to the cockroaches. And then we'll take care of the bed bugs. And don't forget the locusts and the this. He sees you as an infestation to our country, whatever you might be. If he can show that a group of you are making life hard for the better path, then he's going to eliminate you. By what? Gender, race, religion. Welcome to the jungle. We got fun and games. Welcome to the Hunger Games. It's the end times. How long does this go on? 35 years. Do you really want to play, survival and make friends out here of the worst of the worst? You think you're safe with the Jews? You think you're safe with the you know what I mean? You're safe with the Hollywood stars? You think you're safe from his reign of terror? We just never had an American one. They're all over the place. They're popping up in all kinds of countries. These fucking things, they're like those fucking serial killers we had in the 80s and shit. They started and there were only a decade of them. God let out like 45 of these motherfuckers. I think he did the same thing. There's like 45 of these, these corrupt leaders in these countries, and they're all going to get together and fuck us all up. Really? I mean, we'll rise against the government, won't we though? Isn't that tradition? We're not Korea. We're not listening to Un. We're not listening to that dude. We're not going hungry. We're Americans, but that's what's scary, is because we're Americans. That's what's scary. We don't follow. We're leaders of the free land. And we'll all be in our own little fucking apartments fighting for different things. We're not even united on this. Really? No, that's the problem. We're all ready to fight, but if we don't fight for the same cause, it's dangerous. And that's where it is everybody's picking their little sides and shit, getting all ready for the end times. Hey, bro, I'm with God on this. Who's coming with me? Who's with the witch? That's where it says right here. It's like when the anima as virgin was conceived as being all positive, her negative aspects found expression in the belief in witches. Really? Yeah. Here we go. They speak of me again. In China, the figure parallel to the Mary is the goddess Kuan Yin. There I am. Ta-da. Did anybody notice that? I noticed it was standing out a lot more. Really? Yeah, and I put double duckies. And I got my black ducky. That black ducky used to always be there. Why? I think I had a fascinations with the ducks. I don't know. I'll go back to it. Really? Yep, the duckies stay with me. These fucking pictures. If you don't stop looking at me, I'll show you the picture in just a minute. In China, the figure parallel to the Mary was the Kuan Yin. A more popular Chinese anima figure is the Lady of the Moon, who bestows the gift of poetry or music on her favorites, and even given the immortality. In India, the same archetype is represented as Shakti, or the Shakti. That's not me. I was the effigy of her. That's the dark side of her, and that's Lilith. I'm the of, but not that time. I got to be light one time. One time? Well, I mean, Isis was all light but loving, but still the dark goddess. Yeah, she wasn't Hathor. She wasn't. No, the Dark Mother always. Really? Yeah. Really? We reign over the dark feelings. Moving on. I mean, happy-go-lucky and all that. The Shakti, Parvati Rati. In others among Muslims, she is the Fatima, the daughter of Muhammad. Yeah, I wasn't Fatima. Worshipped of, and that's, I wasn't Fatima and I wasn't Aradia, but she carried my spirit with her. And that's where I can go back to, you know what I mean? Kobe carried my spirit with him. Pac carried my spirit with him. You know what I mean? All of them carried, Mac carried my spirit with him. DMX carried my spirit, and they carried the spirit of all things. Realistically, yeah, it's hidden in your feelings, butthole. All right, moving on. Worship of the anima is an officially recognized figures brings the serious disadvantages that she loses her individual aspects. On the other hand, if she regarded as an exclusive personal being, there is the danger. And that's where it is. I'm going to stop here, and I'm going to show you this crazy picture that kept looking at me while I was trying to read to you. Look at this. It's scary. I'm trying to read all of this to you, and this is looking at me, bro. The whole time. I had to put my hand over it and cover it because I was like, stop looking at me. Really? The whole time. Creepy. What is it? I don't know. It kept looking at me. A connection between the motif of four and the anima appears above in a painting of the Swiss artist Peter Burkhauser. A four-eyed anima appears. There's four? I didn't see four. Four-eyed anima appears as the overwhelming, terrifying vision. The four eyes have a symbolic significance, similar to that of the 16 pictures of the dream quoted on page 193. They allure to the fact that the anima contains the possibility of achieving wholeness. Those were the pictures that I told you. I was like, I don't know why I'm on this picture. Really? Yeah, I was like, why am I on these pictures? And I was trying to find where I was supposed to start. They're parts of your feelings, your inner self, but what you're denying, and that's it too, is I had to work through my personalities, which were concealing my actual self. I had personalities created for myself to conceal myself. And as I worked through those personalities, I discovered the different layers to myself. Now they say the four, why? Wolfman, would you like to answer that question? What are the four elements? And then it's sealed by what? The spirit. Thank you very much. So those are the four layers to your being, but that's something else that can be taught. God, I wish I would have kept those oracles. I don't remember. It's called the House of Mirrors in New York, New York. That's all I can remember. It's like I'm a fucking kid that's lost my name, and I'm like, I'm looking for the House of Mirrors in New York, New York. It's an art exhibit. I need to see it, please. Really? It's totally exclusive. I have to be famous to find it, and somebody has to put me on some kind of fucking list, and it probably costs $5,000. Really? Something. But I have the oracles to it. And those are the different layers of your being. Realistically, yes. So you have your mental layer, which is what? Your swords. Your mind. You have your emotional layer, your emotional being, which is what? Your cups. You have your fire, which is what? Your wands, right? And that's where you use the elements and you become an elemental being, and you have to align those, right? Now, if you look through the 4 seasons of our calendar, there's 6 Sabbats, right? So you learn and you look into this, and that's what I explained with the Morgan. She only saw me as the triple goddess because you can recognize a younger version, a mothering version, and an adult, or a wise version. You're right. So it's like I'm in my crone stage, but there's so many layers to each of being a crone, right? So imagine like dog years, right? So a dog in 1 year is 7 years wiser, or it ages differently than we do. And that's how time and space is. And I was trying to explain that in yesterday's video. It's like in 5 weeks, I went through 5 years of experience. And that's how you can look at like a president, how they change, their physical appearance changes so drastically, or how somebody that goes through, hardships, how they change their physical appearance. Now, going through all of this, of course, I looked terrible on the outside, but as I was building up my insides, now I have a beauty on the outside that just radiates no matter how bad I look on the outside. Really? Yeah. And that's it. It's like you can look scrubby, but with a smile on your face, nobody's ever going to even notice. And that's where it is. It's like you put on everything to hide who you are, but then you get out there and people's like, what's wrong? What's up with you? Meaning you're not hiding shit. They can sense something. Really? Yeah, you're not hiding it. Really? Yes. I'm going to end on this card. So we were talking about, oh God, what are we talking about? Divine feminine awakening in men and acknowledging it. And we did, a whole course on the vagina. I'm sure every man missed that course. Shall I teach you where the clitoris is? I can hear men. Can you tell them? Realistically, you don't know? All right, I'll teach you in another class. I feel weirded about this. Balance is needed. Duality is what I turn to. Really? Duality. You have to be your masculine and you have to be your feminine. And that's where I was talking about these gay guys. You're gone too far. Jude trying to grow a mustache. You're kissing your kids with a Stop playing around. You can be masculine without growing a mustache. Fucking Bruce Jenner. You can have sex with a man without fucking cutting off your dick. Realistically, you might have liked how it felt in their butt. Now you'll never know the feeling. I don't want to have butt sex, dude. Moving on. Most men don't. Every time you think about trying to do that to a girl, you better. That's why we got these guys getting their buttholes licked. I'm out of here. I'm out of here, bro. I am out of here. We didn't do such things in such times. You're being animalistic, bro. Just licking your own balls. Stop it. All right, Indigo. I told you this morning. How did my videos turn so filth? I was made of the filth. Didn't you hear it? It was made of the dust and the dirt of the ground. Filth. Earth, might as well call it planet dirt. Yep, I'm a dirty girl. All right, moving on. Mysteries and mastery of life. Indigo holds the mysteries and beckons you into its embrace to reveal the mysteries of extent. I'm getting a download. Oh, they're reminding me. I posted in my community page how to do a visual meditation using music and how to see. It starts with an indigo ray of light coming through the top of your head, and how to see yourself. Eventually, you'll see yourself as nothing as a rainbow being, and you can push out rainbow colors out of your being. Really? And that's how you can read people, their colors. You'll start to see people in auras if you really work on that too much. But that's what you're doing. You're seeing yourself layered in colors. And that's working with the colors. And Joe Bart was talking about that. It's like, how would you describe blue to a person that can't see? It's not a color, it's a feeling. Everything is a feeling. That's what you don't understand. You don't understand that. You don't need eyes to feel. They give more feeling. You don't need ears to feel. It gives it more feeling. Really? You don't have to touch something to know what it feels like. It just gives it more feeling. Really? I was going to say, you're senseless. That's senseless. That's nonsense. All right, moving back. Indigo holds the mystery and beckons you into the embrace to reveal the meaning of existence and the meaning of you. You cannot discover yourself by staying only in warm sunshine of life. You need to search times. Oh, see, we always do this on a Wednesday. It's a mini dark night of the soul. You need to. I'm sorry. You need the searching time of the dark night of the soul as well. You need the deep, dark midnight sky to shower you with starlight, reminding you of your place in the wider universe and the planet and the star system that carries aspects of your soul. You are the stars of moonlight, starlight, and galactic origins. I tried to explain that. Even back to the tree of life. It's like you're made of the cosmos. And as it moves inside of you. And that's where you move with you're part of the universe and it's a part and it's moving within you. Really, it's really great. Let's see. Come in as a child, you remain close to all things you have witnessed in the void before birth. You recall your God-given power and magnificence of all creation. You wonder at the simplest things. The tree blows in the breeze, the texture of the bark on the trunk, the soft fur of the animal, the warmth of water on the skin. That's where it is you go back to everything takes in new meaning because you no longer have your mind telling you what things feel like and what things are. And it's no longer stopping you from experiencing feeling. Everything becomes new because it gives new feeling. And there are. It's like you go to the grocery store a million times and never felt it. Each time you go in, you feel it's a different feel. It's like you could go to Disneyland a million times, and each time you go, it's a different feel, or maybe you don't feel anything. You can have sex a million times. Each time is a different feel, or maybe you don't feel anything. It's all about the feeling. You can do life over and over the same day, but how do you feel about it? And if you're just numb to it, then there's no experience. Everything I do is full of experience. It's like it's almost too much sensation. Really? Just going outside. As soon as I step outside, I'm hit with all kinds of energy. What is that? Oh, shit. Hold on. Apologies. She was checking on me. I was kind of weird. I had a lot going on and I hadn't seen her yesterday. I've been busy. I've been doing shit. Anyways, everything is about experience, you know what I mean? It should be. It should be new and refreshing. It shouldn't be mundane. It shouldn't be drudgery. And that's really what it is. I was like, man, all I got to do is go outside for a walk. I'll be like blown away. Really? Something like that. And that's where I experience everything. As adults, we lose that connection to our senses and all that is. We need to be as children once more, curious to explore and seek out new adventures and ask why. As a child does, it tries to make sense of its new world. And that's where I am all the time. I'm like, why are they doing that? Why? Why, God? Why? That's what I do. I ask a lot of whys. What's and who's and not too many of that. There is so much to be studied, learned, and experienced in this vast place we call home. And this goes back to the card yesterday. We pulled the Hierophant, which is a higher sense of learning, and we pulled what was it? The Princess of Swords, which was learning or studying or being, I don't know. I thought about it this morning. I was all espionage. These are delusional. Indigo asks you to let go of what you think you know and follow the light to what you could know. It is a path of the master, of the one seeking meaning to all this. Pulling this card also means that your power of intuition, clairvoyance, clairaudience, clairsentience are increasing at this time. If so, invite Metatron around you to reveal new insights, way of sensing spirit, and all that lies hidden like magical jewels waiting to be discovered. Some people really want these gifts. They're yours for the taking. It just happened to me. Really? It was just happening to me, and I documented what was happening. I didn't try to become spiritual. I wasn't like Wolfman. You know what I mean? Looking up spirituality. I didn't learn tarot. I had them and I started learning, you know what I mean? I didn't I wasn't interested. I was just trying to figure out what the fuck was happening to me in my life. Where were these visions? Where were these spirits I was talking to? What was all this shit? Why was I burning sage and finding stones? All of it. That's what's really cool because I believe that's what happens to most people. People go looking for God but don't find him. God finds you. Pulling this card may also mean blah, blah, blah. Indigo invites you to explore behind the veil to which is unseen, to delve into your subconscious in the realms of mysticism, intuition, and dreams. It's exactly what it says on my other cards. For sure. Pay particular attention to your dreams at this time. What themes are coming up to be looked at and explored? Many or maybe figures from your past that you need to make peace with, or loved ones who have passed on wishing you well. Note daydreams too, and allow time to visualize, to wish, and I'm getting a download. Okay, and allow time to visualize, to wish, and to believe in magic, creating visions that are possible if we dare to dream, then make them come true. With indigo, this is done from a ground state of being. Those drawn to the indigo ray are also comfortable carrying authority and have enough presence to, all right, to see anything through. The indigo children are a special breed of children. They're like a starseed, but they're a special breed of children. Just like myself, for someone that carries the purple flame, not everyone has all of those, but they're a special breed. I'm a white light worker, but just because I can I can power through any of these to do it, and that's ultimately because I'm the darkness. The absent of all color, or all color mixed together makes is two colors, which are what? White and black. So I'm not black, but I'm the darkness that's the black of the light. First there was darkness, then there was light. So I'm just kind of pointing this out. You could easily be an indigo child and not a witch at all. Really? It's a spiritual thing. It's a certain covering, different star seeds, different things. That's like this one person I met, and I was like, "You're a descendant of the Lumerians." She didn't even know what that was. Really? No. I'm just telling you, you're a descendant of particular beings. As as my being that has been incarnated in all layers of being, I have the access to all layers. So at one time, I was an indigo child. And that goes back to Christ, the card up there. You have to go through those integrations to be not part of just the rainbow ray, but to be part of the crystal ray. And that's what I said Metatron is. He's in the crystal. Realistically, it's absent. It's the white light, but it's the clear light. It's where everything is clarity and it takes form. Oh, God. I keep doing this. This is the only way I can describe it because it goes back to last night's teaching. Look, it's clear, right? You can see through it, but through it, you see all things and it becomes something. And then through the layers of light, so if we put it up in the light, you can see all the colors of the rainbow, all spectrums of the rainbow. That's what makes a crystal. Realistically, yeah, he's without form. A light being, usually when I first saw Gabriel and the light beings, whether they were angels or what they were, I could not tell you. I just told you I saw it at Mother Cabrini's shrine. The whole field was covered in, as I described, light beings, perhaps angels. Some of them had wings, some of them were just in light bodies. It was just, imagine a shadow. It's dark, right? It's a shadow, it's a figurine of something, and that's dark. Okay, so a light being is that. It's a shadow, it's a figure of someone in light, right? So light beings look like that. Now I'm talking about him, the crystalline grid, the crystal. He's not in a form, and that's God. He's not in just a light form. He's in all forms, which is just essence. Really? That's annoying. But I just wanted to point this out. You could be an indigo child. Really? Yeah. I'm just saying, you could be. With indigo, this is done, Those drawn to the indigo ray are also comfortable carrying authority and have enough presence to see anything through. By searching for the meaning, healing, and connection back to ourselves and our origins, we gain the world, and the world gains the highest aspect of us. Sink into indigo depth and mysteries and mystical beauty and discover anew. And that's it too, is like, Wolfman, this is back to the basics, bro. You can go all deep in erotic teachings, but you can't do shit unless your chakras are aligned, bastard. Really? Something so simplistic. And you can't do any of this until you tap into your feelings. I don't give a fuck what you think. I don't care what your mind is generating. I'll quiet your mind, and all I want to know is tell me how you're feeling. Tell me how I make you feel when you're around me. And you'll start telling me about your physical feel, and then you'll start seeing visions. It'll bring up stuff. That's what happens. I bring it up. I'm just an accelerator to whatever's inside of you. I send off energy that from the outside that aligns with your inside energy. And now you're seeing it in your visions. You're speaking your truths. You're speaking your feelings. You're speaking your memories. It happens to anyone that sits next to me. And you feel better about it. Really? Oh, yeah, people love that. How good do you feel, Bobby, to have someone to talk about your life? Feels great. I don't even get paid for this. Yeah, dude, God takes good care of me. Moving on to it, yeah. And that's working with color. Color gives you a feeling. I told you that. This is where Metatron lives. Yeah? When you think of the color red, what do you feel? And what comes to mind? Those are just impressions. What comes to mind are impressions of the mind, but the feeling. Everything has a feeling. So if you think of big orange, which is what? If you think of Trump, how does he make you feel? Not what you think of him. How does he make you feel? All right. When you think about Jesus, not what you think of him, but how does that make you feel? When I say certain names, all right. When I say your mom, how does that make you feel? All right. What if I said this? Your mom's a fucking bitch. How does that make you feel? Is your mom allowed to be considered a bitch? Do you think that there's not somebody in this world that your mom has crossed that does say that? So if that person came out and told your mom her feelings and said, "You're a fucking bitch," is it your natural instinct to defend your mom without knowing what your mom did to this woman? What if your mom really fucked this woman over, or man, or somebody? You naturally gravitate towards your mother because your mother gravitates towards you. But you must understand that your mother was a person outside of being a good person to you. Doesn't mean she's a good person. She's a mother to everyone else. This is deep into the psyche, and that's where I try to teach you is to work on your feelings, how certain words make you feel, certain people make you feel. You can't avoid the feeling, understand it. Understand why you make me feel uncomfortable. We can't run away, and that's what happened to me. A shutdown, a marshal, someone like that, where we don't go around people because we're bothered by them. People fucking bother us. We can't shut down from the experience of life. We need to understand why we're so bothered and be less bothered by words and actions. That goes back to the N word. I used to say it comfortably, and I understood how it made you feel and that it was going to be triggering to you, but I felt that I was coming from a safe place, that it was. Until one day, only recently during the summer, I had a conversation with somebody that changed my perspective forever. And I chose, of my own free will, to stop saying that word. But you'll hear me say it freely. It'll sneak out because it was part of my vocabulary up until now. Same with the F word. I used to call everybody all kinds of fags. Being a fucking fag, bro. Really? Until I understood the feeling that comes with that word, what it entices and what it does. So things like that, it's like you're all acceptable until you realize it's unacceptable, and only you choose to make the choice to change things. But you don't make up a fucking excuse like Kanye West and say, "Oh, I had a brain injury and that's why I was calling everybody Nazis and faggots and this and that." I can tell you, but it doesn't make it excusable. I grew up in an era where we used such language and we didn't understand it. It only became defining later that this was wrong. And I didn't choose to change. And that's, poor behaviors. And that goes back to like even people in the South. They didn't choose to change their mind. They chose to stick to their traditional ways of being and thinking that has gotten them into a place called a hate crime now. Are you guilty? I think I've done that more than a few times. Have I ever called a gay man that? I don't think so. If I did, it was because you were really being beyond gay. Really? Nah. Realistically, nah. I was always directed at to hurt a straight man, never to hurt a gay man, but to hurt a straight man. Really? Yeah, they don't want to be called gay. Nobody wants to be called stupid. Stupid. Stupid is as stupid does. Don't call him stupid. Stuff like that. Really? It's bullying. Going back to this. So the psyche comes down to you, and I question everything about me. And then and then it became a pattern where I question everything about everything about everything. Realistically, yeah, I'll annoy the shit out of you. I want to know the beginning of everything. I'm annoying like that, and that's why. But why? And that's where I piss you off. I piss you off with that. Why are you doing that? You're like, because I have to. I don't think you have to. No, I have to. No, you don't. And then we argue because I'm a kid and I'm thinking you can do whatever you want. And you're like, I can't do whatever I want. And I'm like, but you're an adult. Aren't you in charge? And you're like looking at me like, I'm going to slap this bitch. And I'm like just being a kid trying to figure out why you're being a kid. Really? Really though? Wonder why I call you bitch. Fucking Pock, you're so funny. He came in out of nowhere on that shit. Now he's got to leave we got to leave nowhere with that shit. I got to go. Really? Yeah, I've got a lot. Breathe. It's not going to be as bad as yesterday. I did the worst of it yesterday. What do I got to do? I got to get the last bit of shit out and I'm going to go wash it all, which is stupid shit. Fucking jackets and sweaters. Why do I have so many? That's exactly what the kids said. I'm having a hard time letting go of this. Really, I could literally take maybe 3 or 4 of them and let everything else go. No, but and then I want to wash all the kids' clothes too. Why? Because they're funny. They mix clothes and I just want everything to be clean and bagged up. I want to make them wear 1 week's of clothes and keep everything clean until we get to the house. And then I have my washer and dryer. I just don't want to do this. Really? I want to stay on top of things. So I've got like 2 hours, 2.5 hours of hard work at some point of today. And then by tonight, I will turn in the key and say, I don't actually have a key. Yeah, I do. I have like 5 of them and tell them I'm done. But I'm putting that off because I overdid it yesterday. And other than that, no, I'm chilling. Really? Yeah. I'm moving soon. And God said my computer's ready. Tomorrow's Thursday. There are good things are happening. Going back to your psyche, it all is that. Thanks, Carl Jung. Buddha, next time. I had Buddha's book here, but I can't. Really? No. B called me and she reminded me that I'm starving and I haven't had a meal and I need to move on with my life for a minute. Really? Yeah, I gave you guys a reading today that you were going to face all that shit anyways. And I posted that reading last night. And the indigo is it's a color. You're working with colors. We're teaching you how to work with healing colors. It's not something I usually do. Now that I think about it, have we ever taught this, guys? I don't think so. New teachings, I suppose. I'm full of it. Why? Because they fill me with it. I didn't go to school for this shit, bro. I teach a school of it. I teach Hogwarts and everything else. The only thing I really don't teach is religion. I teach you their books, but I don't teach you how to be like them. We just try to understand it. Really? I'm not converting anyone. I'm just trying to get you close to God. And I give you all of the options. But I think you need to take all of it into consideration for it all to work. Realistically, I can't be doing witchcraft without Jesus. And in essence, my offerings to Jesus are considered witchcraft. You know what I mean? I'm not one or the other. I don't pick days where, okay, today, I'm in different energies, but it's not like that. And that's the balance of the yin and the yang. I see where you're coming from, Buddha. All right. I saw that card. Buddha's all about that, balancing that. And Buddha was all about his feelings. Hey, you want to stand up? I'm just talking about you like you're fucking totally not here. I mean, there's a little green guy over there. Do you know what the color of your heart is? The heart chakra? Green. Green. Really? Yeah. He was, and that's Jesus. They were all feelings. They were filled with great feelings. He wasn't a mighty man. He wasn't out there, and that goes back to fucking Moses. All he had was his stick. He was they Jesus cried. You remember? Realistically, yeah. I felt like you should have cried a little harder, my friend. I cry for you, just the thought of that bullshit. He was a mighty warrior of God, but he was, he was feelings. And that was Buddha. Buddha was, what do we know about Buddha when you think about Buddha? What do you know about Bob Marley? When you think about Bob Marley, would you imagine him to grab you by the neck and slam you to the ground? No, that's not brute force. He was loving, he was caring, he was understanding. Martin Luther King, Kobe Bryant. Pac would have gotten your face. He wouldn't have physically assaulted you right away. And that's me. I'm not gonna, don't make me put my hands on you, bro. My word should be enough. Really? Yeah, verbal abuse. If you know how to use your words well enough, you never have to use your hands. Ooh, that's for everyone. That's from Kobe. That's for everyone. That's good shit right there. That's, hey, lay it to rest right there, bro. Hey, let me write that down. If you know how to use your words good enough, you'll never have to use your hands. And that goes back to fucking creativity. Oh, that's so nice. I like the fucking spirit guides. They're full of shit. And good shit sometimes. So it's like, do you have anything good to contribute to this fucking shit? Fucking with you, Pac. He's fucking with me. Um, that's where it is. Start questioning. Self realization is realizing yourself, not other people. Don't sit there judging everyone else. Try to figure out yourself. And in doing so, you have a lot of understanding of other people. As you work through your layers, you understand theirs. Really? That's where I got it all from. I can figure out what you're going through. And that's why I have so much compassion. I was you. I've been through that. I acted like that. I did that. I know what that feeling feels like. I know what this is going to make you do. Really? Well, I understand cause and effect. If you do this, it's going to have an effect on someone, right? So causation is he teaches it. I'm going to pull that up. Somebody remember causation. He wants to talk about causation. It's in his book. How do I know this? I don't know. Visuals. He puts it in my head. He's showing me that I read a chapter called causation. Cause and effect. And so when you think about these mighty warriors in time, understand that they were mighty because of their feelings. Mamba was powerful because he put his feelings, he channeled it in a Bruce Lee meditative way. He channeled all his anger, all his insecurities, all his hatred, all his shortcomings, all his fears into a mindset that he only put on the field. Now, here's the question, or on the field, on the court. Here's the question: where was he going to put that after it? Or he had exerted enough of it there where he was able to lay it to rest. And then he became what? More in his divine feminine. He became a really caring, loving father. He stepped more into the feminine role and less, he took off the masculine, which was all the doing, and became more feminine, which was more active in his wife and children's life. Going back to, I'm seeing Horner, Christian Horner, for whatever reason, he was probably a dirtbag that you said inappropriate shit and probably got fired for, sexual misconduct. But out of nowhere, he's been living this life for 20 something years. For those that didn't know, he married one of the Spice Girls. He has beautiful daughters and they have a beautiful ranch over somewhere in Europe. I mean, they live fucking large, but he lives on the road and he's a great, wonderful man. And we've watched him through all of Formula One. But one day, God took his job away and sent him home. Now, naturally, because he's a man, he'll be trying to get back into his field because he'll feel a little left out from being, unless it was exactly what he needed. And now he can go back and being that loving, caring, supportive man to his father, or, to his wife and to his children, to his community, to family and to friends. When you're so busy in the field, you can't be there for the ones that need you most. But that is a part of you. You need to do this, just like a soldier that needs to be enlisted in the war. And that goes back to me and God. I had those moments in Las Vegas. I need this, God. I need something. I need to. You can't expect me to just sit there as this little girl being taken care of. I need to get my hands dirty. I need a sense of pride. I need a sense of accomplishment. I need a sense of doing and being. Really? Yeah. And it's funny because he had took me to a place of spirituality where the idea of being around people and doing anything hurt me, to where he made me so desperate for it that I asked for it again. And then he brought me to it. And now I was like, you know what? Fuck you, God. You're going to keep making me quit jobs. I don't want another job in my life. Extreme much? I am the extreme. I'm the extreme version of God's untamed thoughts and feelings put into a body. and I'm allowed to express in any way as long as it's not harmful to those around me. And that's what it is. I'm an expression of God. Through me, you can see God's workings outside of my life, right? But how he works inside with my internal self to keep me regulated. Regulators. I'm done. I'm done. The Holy Spirits are coming in. I gotta go. Really, we're gonna go fucking chill, have some lunch. To that, that's what this is asking, and that's what I did. The very beginning of all of this is questioning yourself, your motives, your intentions, why you do the things you do, and if they make you happy, and stop doing the things that make you happy. By doing that, you're freeing your spirit, and by freeing your spirit, you're able to access more spiritual information and realms. That's the science of this bullshit. I didn't set out to do this. It happened because of something simplistic that I started speaking about my feelings and, my repressed feelings and memories in music. I decided to write an album, and as I tried to limit it to certain feelings and certain stories, it blew up. What turned out to be, it was called Sixes and Sevens. I shit you not, I could show you. That was the name of it before I gave it a full name. After that, it was going to be 15 minutes, or I made it 15 minutes of fame. But it was sixes and sevens. Why? It's a long story. It's the same. I started with, 6 or 7 songs, I think it was, right? And then it turned into 13. And it was because after I told these stories and talked about these feelings, more stories and more feelings came up where I had more to express. Now, after I stopped the album, it didn't stop the expression. The album was just the beginning of it. I started to put my creativity, which was myself, into something. And as I started letting myself pour out, it started pouring out more than I could handle. I couldn't have put it on fucking sound like R. Kelly or fucking let me write a rape song. What kind of music are we creating? Sounds like fucking Russ's introspection songs. No, we're not gonna write songs about my childhood wounds. But that's what started it. I started talking about some of my life experiences and how it made me feel. That was the purpose of I wanted to share experiences that nobody had ever heard, that women had and women felt. Before I knew it, I was telling, after the album was done, I still had more to tell. I had a lot more to tell. I started telling on myself. There was way more. That was just scratching the surface. Realistically, yeah, throw a man in there. That started it all. Oh Lord, what is she hiding? All my trauma. All my trauma. I'm hiding all my trauma. You would never know it, but I've been hiding it for 39 years and it's coming out. Really? Yeah, it might be happening to you. Coming soon to you, which is what? Divine Feminine Awakening. It's called the Dark Night of the Soul, and I'm here to catch you. It's maddening, and you're going crazy, quite literally. You're losing your mind, and that's the purpose of it. You're trying to fight the mind to let the spirit be free, but during it, you're losing your mind. And like Kanye, everybody's going to do everything they can to stop this from happening to you, just like me. They thought, I gave up my work. I gave up everything. I sold my car. They swore I was on drugs. And because I had a past on drugs, they thought I was just denying it. Really? People thought I went back to drugs. And I'm like, how can you think that? I was recording. So then they thought I was recording on drugs. I'm on God on drugs. Like, this is trippy. Yeah, bro, they thought. Seriously, I gave up everything. They thought that, my daughter was like, "Do you want to leave the kids with me while you figure yourself out?" They thought I was spinning out of control. I was just letting go. Basically. Hey, that's my cue to go. Really? Yeah. My daughter's missing classes. It's gonna keep calling me. Work through your guys' awakening. That's what happens, and I'm here to walk you through it. Love yous. Laters. Bye bye.